This episode of Bogans Guide to Wine is brought to you by the Bogans Guide to Wine merch store. Get it on ya!
G'day guys, welcome to a new episode of Bogans Guide to Wine. Now I've got something a bit different happening again this week. I'm actually having a chat by the magic of internet and science and stuff with a established author, Dr. Matthew Horkey, and his partner Charine. How you going, guys?
G'day, Sampi!
Hey, Santi!
Thanks for having us, but we're ready to rock and roll, right?
Thank you.
Now I follow you guys on social media quite a bit. That's kind of how we met. We were on some of the same wine Facebook pages that we contribute to, and you run under the banner Exotic Wine Travel, which sounds a bit flash. So what can you tell me? What can you tell me about Exotic Wine Travel? What's it all about?
So Exotic Wine Travel was established in December 2015. It's a platform that hosts articles, reports, books that we've written, interviews, and of course your videos. Yeah, and basically in all this multimedia presentation, we cover lesser known wine regions and unique wines of the world.
Yeah, we've been wine enthusiasts for a long time, and we really wanted to get into the wine industry, information, the education, but we couldn't, we couldn't just start writing about Great Burgundy or Great Bordeaux because we were just starting out, we're nobody. And we really saw some exciting things happening in these countries and stories just waiting to be told, right?
Yeah. So both ways, like you said, is because we can't get into the Burgundy and all that, more of a branding perspective, but it's also because going to lesser known wine regions and tasting unique wines really satisfy our curiosity and adventurous attitude.
Especially unique grapes. And I think if you're willing to try something new, or anybody's willing to try something new, that opens their mind in many other ways too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the open-mindedness and attitude really appears in every area of your life.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty tough gig, man, but someone's got to do it, I suppose. So you obviously did quite a bit of travel, so what are some of the wine regions that you've actually visited?
So, yeah, like I said earlier, Exotic Wine Travel came about in December 2015. But before that, we actually started traveling full-time in May 2015.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a sabbatical at that point. And we started our journey in Switzerland, and then to Italy, Spain, Portugal, and then to the Caucasus. That's Turkey, Armenia, and Georgia in the 7 months. But in the end, we realized that we were spending most of our time, all of our time in wine regions, drinking wine, pairing wine with food. And we realized that, this is meant for us. We need to do something about all our investment, the things that we've learned, the experience that we have. We want to share it with everyone else, and I think it's a good story to tell.
Yeah, we started out actually when we were in Switzerland. We were in the Swiss wine regions. In Italy, we were in Tuscany, Piemonte, so Barolo, Barbaresco, Etna in Sicily. Went to the Douro in Portugal, famous for port wine. I know you Aussies love stickies. Also, we in Galicias in Spain, Rioja, Turkey, Armenia, Georgia. We came back to the U.S., went through Virginia. We're making some good wines, Santa Barbara County, California. Baja, Mexico, where there's interesting wines. And then we came back to the area we are now, where we went through Serbia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, Slovenia. We did a press trip in Cyprus, and then Friuli, Venezia, Giulia. So a lot of wine regions, and hopefully a lot more to come.
Yeah, we've only been 2 years into this, so more to come.
We're trying. We're working hard. It is a tough gig, though. It is.
So you got any plans to come into Australia in the near future? We might have to meet up if you find yourself on the west coast, do a little bit of geograph, Margaret River, Pemberton, that kind of way. What do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we talk about going to Australia once every couple of months. We are really interested in what's happening there. We've tasted a lot of good examples, and I think we both are particularly interested in the old vines, Grenache, and Shiraz.
Yeah, for me personally too, Western Australian wines were some of my first Actually, some of the first wines that really got me
Really?
into loving wine. So I really love Margaret River. We've had some great wines from Pemberton, the Great South. We're also very interested in what's happening in Yarra and Tasmania, right?
Yeah.
You guys have lots. So we'll come. Well, you better show us a good time though if we come visit, right?
Well, let's get down to business, guys. You two, you've just released a new book, and I love the name. It's called Cracking Croatian Wine. It sounds like I wrote the damn thing. Now, I wasn't even aware Croatia had a wine industry, which is kind of ignorant on my part. What led you to writing a book about Croatian wine?
Actually, you're probably not the first person that didn't really know about Croatian wine, but if you look at actually the geography, let me see from your perspective. So you have Italy right here, the Adriatic Sea, and Croatia's here, literally right across the Adriatic Sea. Croatia's got a long history of winemaking. They've been making wine for 2,500 years. The Greeks were the first to do it in the 5th century, actually anywhere from the 6th to the 4th century BC. And you don't know about Croatian wine because for a long time Croatia was part of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. So wineries were all co-ops forced to make quantity, not quality. And actually, but back then Yugoslavia was one of the top 10 producing wine countries in the world.
Yeah.
And Croatia's politically a fairly young country, gained its independence in the early 90s. And the thing is, Croats are huge wine drinkers. And most of the production is very small here in Croatia, so all the wines get consumed by the locals and all the visitors that come here.
Yeah, absolutely. To add to what you said about Yugoslavia, I remember a couple of times that we were traveling around here, we still meet people, whether they're Croatian or Serbian. A couple of times they told us that, Croatia makes the best wine back in the Yugoslavia days. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, but like you said, there are a lot of visitors coming to Croatia. There are more than 11 millions, in fact, every year. So we see that there's an opportunity because there's no updated English language literature or knowledge put together, information put together about Croatian wine. And on top of that, again, it's because we've been here for so long. We made our first trip in April last year, 2016. And in the past 1 year, we have already spent 7 months in the country. We really enjoy the food here, the wine, the people, the culture. And that really compelled us to want to do something and return and share it with the rest of the wine world, particularly the indigenous varieties.
I thought that we definitely saw a need to because Croatia has so many visitors, over 11 million. It's increasing. Their visitors are already up 40% this year. And because of the production being so small and the locals taking in all the wine, visitors really don't get a chance to experience the greatest Croatian wine. So we wanted to kind of open their eyes to them, right?
Yeah, we've met people who say they've tasted great white wines or they've tasted not so good wines over here. So, we want to make sure that wherever we go to and review something we want the rest of the visitors to leave a good impression of the wines as well.
So what is it about Croatian wine? What's so special about it?
I think what really makes Croatian wine super special is the wealth of indigenous and unique grapes that you won't find anywhere here in the world. There's over 200 grapes planted commercially in Croatia. Of those 200, 40 are indigenous and made into wine. And they've even identified about 100, 130 varieties that aren't being made into wine. And it's really unique. These grapes don't exist anywhere in the world, and they give off these completely unique flavors and just a unique experience your palate wouldn't forget. I mean, what else do you find so special?
I do agree. I do right on to your point as well because of the indigenous varieties that come in very limited quantity. Sometimes they are only planted in a specific island of the country. So there is a certain a unicorn wine, unicorn juice kind of reputation around it. And on top of that, like you said, because they're indigenous, they're different. When you taste some of the wines here, it gives you a very different kind of sensory experience, how is it that it can be so minerally, so sour, and then so, high acidity, so floral, all at the same time. So the combination is very interesting.
I also think what makes Croatia unique is for such a small country because of its mountains, the way it's shaped, location on the sea. You have true Mediterranean climate, Mediterranean with Alp influence, true continental climate. You have kind of a maritime quasi-maritime climate because the Danube River flows through. So you give so many different grapes, so many different terroirs, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it really is a formula for interesting winemaking,
Yeah.
right?
I have a few friends of Croatian descent, and they certainly know how to have a good time. So I suppose there's a bit of a party scene in Croatia.
Yeah, let me just give you a scenario. So when we first started traveling here for wine, we were all kind of ignorant and green, right? So we used to schedule 3 appointments, or sometimes even like attempt to make 4 appointments in a day. Not going to work. Now we've learned that just keep to one appointment a day, because the winemaker will want to spend all his time, her time with you, eat and drink and have fun. Yeah.
It's really cool for the coast. The coast is known as like the playground for the Novo Rich because it's beautiful. There's over 1,000 islands in coastal Croatia, basically an extension of the Greek Isles. And yeah, so in the summer it's party like crazy. But the locals too, they like to drink a lot of wine. They like to have a good time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, these guys, my friends, have still got family over there, so sounds like I should really get off my ass and go have a bit of a visit that way. When I do get over there, is there any sort of one spot I should go out of my way to go visit, or one particular winery?
So if you're coming to Croatia, you need to know that there's actually 4 main wine regions. There's two that are happening on the coastal area, and then 2 main regions in the continental portion of the country where there's continental climate. In the coastal area of Istria and Dalmatia, in the continental part you have the uplands and Slavonia.
Mm-hmm. So if you're coming here for the first time, I would suggest, my own favorite grapes. They are also known as the flagship grapes of the more known grapes of Croatia. So if you turn up to Istria, look out for Malvasia and Charine. And then when you head towards Dalmatia, the coastal area, focus on Plavac, Mali, and Poshep. Very interesting. So Poshep can be very mineral driven, can be made into a big wine in oak, or it can be really crisp and nice. Whereas Plavac Mali is known to be quite a tannic, mouth-ripping wine. But when done right, it's floral, it's gorgeous with great body and structure. You don't like it as much as I do, but when done right, it's delightful. It's just that there are quite a couple of bad examples on the market. And then for Charine, now you like Charine more than I do. So Charine, I think it's similar to a little bit Syrah-like, a little bit Frost-like.
What's a cousin of a Frost?
Yeah, exactly. So it's got a similar flavors to it. And then Malvasia, it's not related to the Malvasia from Istria is not related to the Malvasia from Italy. It's got beautiful floral white flower notes and usually has a bit of a pear and white fruit notes on the mouth.
Yeah, so in Istria you find basically everyone makes good Malvasia Starska. Going back to Plavac, which Charine loves, it's actually the offspring of the original Zinfandel, which is from this area. In Croatia, it was known as Sarjana Kaštelanski, and a grape called Dobricic got together. Out came Plavac Mali, big Mediterranean wines. Those are the wines that you should definitely check out. In the continental part of the country, in the uplands, it's more quasi-alpine, quasi-pastoral, so you're going to get a lot of aromatic whites, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling, Welsh Riesling, all doing well there, even though there are some reds there. In Slavonia, even more in the continental portion, which Charine loves, they really do a great job with Krasavina. That's the local name for Welsh Riesling. Used to be known as a poor man's wine. You can find it everywhere in Croatia, but when done right, it's Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Viognier-esque mixed together. Slavonia is also crafting up very good red wines, but Syrah, Cabernet, Merlot. If you go even further under the continental portion, they specialize in Traminats, which is basically Gewürztraminer, which Charine loves so much.
When it's done right,
aromatic, and in the continental part, the wines are more inexpensive because they don't get as many visitors and land's cheaper, but the wines are still good. Most people are concerned with the coast because of all the indigenous varieties, right? Most people spend their time on the coast. Dalmatia, it seems like every little island has its own grape variety.
So there are still a couple more from the coastal area. Like you said, every island, you have Gurk, which we highly recommend, but you can only get it from the island. They hardly go out of the island.
And for producers, that's why we put the book together, really, because there's so many so many people doing some interesting stuff. So you'll just have to check it out.
And also this bottles over here. Look at all our favorite producers.
Yeah, these are some of our favorite producers here.
Sounds great. All I got to do is scrape together a bit of coin and off I go. I'm there.
So great.
Yeah, get out. You better get on it. Seriously, it's a long haul, but I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll take you around if we're still here. Or we'll just give you all the information that you need.
Ah,
Wow, that sounds great. Croatia's never really been on my radar as a place to visit, so you've certainly made me aware of it, so I'm going to have a read of the book soon as my autographed copy appears in the mail, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be sure to send a copy to you.
I don't know. I don't think so. Depends on how good you are. I'm kidding. Of course.
Well, we can exchange it with a bottle of Shiraz.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in visiting Croatia or just interested in getting another wine book about an interesting wine region, you can find cracking Croatian wines actually at the Bogans Guide to Wine webpage. Hopefully, if I can get the link organised. So visit www.bogansguidetowine.com.au, hit the link, and I'll take you down the path to get a copy of cracking Croatian wine. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Charine. That's been an absolute joy talking to you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, really, thanks a lot. You know, it was a lot of fun, really innovative. Glad that the internet land could bring us together. You know, just one thing, we really have worked really hard on this project. Thank you for showcasing us. You know, we've spent 7 months traveling through the country, visiting producers, tasted over 1,500 Croatian wines. Pretty much every quality wine within the country, done lots of verticals, a lot of tasting. We put our heart and soul into this, so really I want to thank you for having us, really.
Yeah, thank you for sharing our content with your audience.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Till next time, this has been Bogan's Guide to Wine. Get it in ya.
Get in ya!
Now you can rock your very own Bogan's Guide to Wine t-shirt. Visit bogansguidetowine.com.au. Get it on ya.